Hello Flosstube, my name is Kristen and this is a channel about cross stitch, and I just wanted to say thank you. After my last video, this community was so welcoming with some kindness and encouragement, and it has really been a fun month to just read some of the nice comments and to feel like I was part of a community. So thank you. It's been fun. So today I'm going to go over some finishes and do a kit parade and maybe just talk about what I plan to do next month. I never really made monthly plans before this, so I'm thinking this might help me stay a little bit more organized, and maybe I'll get finished some things quicker than I would have. So I'm just going to do the finishes first. So the first one I have is Rose Apothecary. And I got this on Etsy, Layla Company Designs, and that is 18 count opal raw Ada. And I used some of the fancier DMC that had the little sparkle to it, not the metallic stuff, but the other line that they have, and I can't pronounce it, so I don't want to butcher the name. And that's if anybody that's not familiar with that, Schitt's Creek was not a swear, but the name of the show was up for a bunch of Emmys. I think it was in 2020. I hadn't ever seen it before, and I binge watched the whole thing, and I just loved it. And so I saw that, and I thought it was cute, and it was fast. Designed to stitch. Now this is a Game of Thrones. House Stark. Winter is coming. And I, as I mentioned in my video before, I'm not really that great at back stitching, especially when it's out in the middle of the fabric and not within the other stitching. So I don't know, I might maybe pull that all out and try again. But I don't really love him too much anyway, so I probably won't, because there was a big slub in the middle of that fabric. That's a Picture This Plus 28 count, I believe, linen. I can't remember the name of the color. I wanted it to look kind of like a dirty white, not such a bright white. So I liked the color of it. I don't know if I just got a weird piece of it. But he was pretty quick. Just a couple colors in that one too. This next one, I mentioned Stargate in my last video. This is another Stargate. I'm laughing just because there's a story behind this fabric, which I'll share in a second. So for those that aren't familiar with the show, that symbol at the bottom is a symbol for Earth. So it's just a play on the "there's no place like home." And then I did do metallics for the chevrons on the sides. The two blue ones, I did blue for their spin-off show Atlantis, and then I did the goldish color ones for their the original show SG1. But there's a story behind the fabric, because I was trying to find something that looked very kind of watery and marbly, and I did find it, and then I stitched on the wrong side of it. So you can see how that's all nice and marbly on the back. But I can't remember when I discovered it. I think I was mostly done, and I don't know how that happened, but that's okay. I liked the fabric, though, and the fabric I found an Etsy seller, a dyer. I think it's Becky Stitches. Sorry, I have notes here. I just can't find... Oh, there it is. Yep, Becky Stitches on Etsy, and it's a 14 count opal Ada. Which I will never make that mistake again, though, so live and learn. And then this one is actually the first project that I ever did beads on, and this is a Nora Corbett Miss Black Swallowtail, and she's one of the butterfly misses, and this is 28 count Pansy by Picture This Plus. I like the way she came out. I did make a mistake somewhere on this wing and spent like half a day trying to figure out what I did wrong so I could do it the same way on this side to make her even. But I figured it out. It's funny, the pictures really never do these, whether it's a Mirabilia or like a chatelaine with the beads, any justice until you can really see it kind of moving. I liked her. She's cute. And then I also did finish Stargazer. Let's see if I can, I don't know if light's going to show behind her. Let me put it towel behind her. I struggled a bit with, and I haven't ironed anything because I'm going to end up storing it in a drawer anyway, and I have to get a new iron. So there's a lot more beads in her dress than I really realized. But that I liked because it's within the stitching. I had a harder time when it came out. If they're close together, I seem to do okay, but it also called for some single bigger beads in the sky, and I just didn't dare because actually when I took her out this morning, one of these big ones had already started to fall out, so I had to stabilize that. And then I changed this star was I had called for stitching in the middle, and I decided to just bead all that. I think I will try to frame her. I might try to frame her myself. I bought a mat cutter, but I haven't tried to play with it yet. I was happy with her. I wanted something that looked kind of night skyish for the fabric, but not black, and I was afraid that might blend in with some of her colors, but I think it came out okay. And so this one I just finished. And I showed her in my last video, and I didn't do all the beading on her, mostly because I just couldn't do it anymore. So I'm glad she's done, and she's pretty. Her face is a little wonky. It's not quite like it looked in the chart, and the chart also called for some more strings of beads, and I don't know, I felt like I wanted to keep her just kind of more simple. That's why I didn't, this one and Stargazer, I kept more on simple linens too. This is just natural linen, I think. And the other one, Stargazer, I believe was on like a blue spruce linen. It's hard to show her whole. This had also called for a lot more strings of beads and other stuff going on down here. And again, I just really wanted her wings to stick out a little bit more. And sorry, I'll get the hang of doing this, I think, eventually, but this is, yeah, I was happy to see her be done this morning. Actually, I just finished her this morning. I thought I would get her done over the weekend, but we had a huge storm, and we were out of power for a few days, so that didn't happen. So, and that's it for finishes. So I'm not really sure what the best way to show the stuff I have kitted up. I'm just going to do what I can. I had a couple of ideas for some of the bigger projects. I'm not sure how everybody handles showing fabric and floss all at the same time. But I'm going to do the best I can, so we'll see how we do. So, I'll just start with the top of my pile. And this one is one of the mini mandalas by Chatelaine. I bought this a while ago because I have a larger chatelaine that I'm going to show you guys at the end of this, which I might need some input on the fabrics that I have two chosen for the big one. This one I just chose just regular DMCs and a plain linen, which I just got navy. I did sub out the treasure braid only because when I placed the order, which was quite a while ago now, they didn't have one of the called for, so I just got more of a coppery color. I think that'll work. It's going to be some good practice for me for the specialty stitches because I haven't done any of them. And then the bead pack too, which I'm not really sure if you can see it through the plastic, but that should be probably the next thing that I start, but who knows what I'll end up doing. And then this other one that the next one I'm gonna show is another Etsy design. I always loved the Princess Bride. It's just a very simple stitch. Oh, let's see if I can get that. I think I got more glare in the room today. Oof, eek, sorry. So it just says "As You Wish," which if anybody that has seen that movie knows that is something special that they say to each other. And that just called for that gold, but I decided to try to match Buttercup's dress. So I had left over a charcoal Lugana from another project, and I thought that these two looked like the colors of the dress that she wears for most of the movie. So I don't know how I'm gonna fit this one in. I may do the words in this gold and then maybe the little outer edge designs with the dress color. And this next one is another Etsy design. There's quite a few little Etsy designs at the start here. This is a Bridgerton inspired design. So it's got Lady Whistledowns. I'm so sorry. This glare wasn't so bad last time. I think that these, I'm not sure what the flowers are, but if you've ever watched Bridgerton, the Bridgerton house has these purple flowers all over the front of it. And then, of course, that's the Lady Whistledowns design from her gossip mag. And I just got a cream Lugana, and these are just stuff I had in a stash already, and I bought some Sullivan's floss. So I thought those colors are going to look... I almost thought about substituting and putting some beads in where the flowers are, but after doing all the beading on Midsummer Night Fairy, I don't really want to do that, so I'm not going to. And then this is another Outlander chart, which is another Etsy chart. Oh, I have a better picture than that. Hold on. Sorry. I had two boogers. What did I do here? Oh. Two fabrics. One that I had originally bought a while back. And then I just picked up the oatmeal, which looks more like this modeled. The picture of the... Oh, it's not pulling up all the way. So it's a Craig Nadoon. Hopefully you can see that. And I decided not to do the stones in black because I just felt like stones should be more grayish. So I picked like a dark gray. And I know what I've said about back stitching, so we'll see how I do with all the black work border on that. So I did. This is the original fabric that I bought, which is a Country French Cafe Mocha 16 count. But then I just got more of some of the oatmeals. I think I'm probably going to do it on that because I really like the way that the modeled picture looked. And hopefully I don't mix up my threads on different projects because that would be... This one is a Mirabilia. It was a freebie. I think you can just Google it. It's a dragonfly from an Australian retreat. See if I tried to get a good picture of... No, that's not it. That was my husband's hubcap. That is not... Oh, shoot. I did have it. Oh, nuts. Well... Let me check one other spot here. I tried to be so prepared, too. I'm not sure where else it could be. Well, sorry. I guess I can't figure out where I put the picture. And I'm not sure. I mean, it was a free chart, but I probably still shouldn't. I guess it's probably okay to show it, but I'm not going to. So the picture had the date and some words that I'm not going to do because obviously I didn't go to the retreat. And then also called for some water lilies, which I decided not to get. And I grabbed Sage Lugana. And instead of water lilies, I chose 3 colors per water lily that I thought I might be able to just do some shading on the wings. And it did have a little bit of Krynic. And the beads. The beads are really pretty. I'm not really sure how I can show these beads, though. I guess I'll just show them like this. For some reason, I decided to put them in these little containers, which will make it much harder for me to show. But the beads are really pretty. My apologies. I thought I had all the pictures pulled up. All right, this one is, I showed you guys my start on Fire, the Elemental Dragons from Ink Circles. And this one is what I have to do Earth. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Now, there is another story behind this fabric too. I ordered from 123 Stitch. Oh, it's pulling up the chart. Let me just try to get the PDF picture. And it came early, and it had my fabric and my flosses, which, boogers, I'm having a hard time with tech today. The dogs got it, and I got home and took them out and was wondering, what the heck is that on the lawn? And then I realized it was my fabric, and floss was just everywhere. Oh, but I managed to salvage it and washed it. So I don't know if you can see, it looks like a really light green fabric. And these charts all called for Glorianas, but I ended up going with Weeks Dye Works, which I have the Weeks Dye Works for the next two, but I don't have the fabric for air or water yet. Those are coming. So I went with Jade from Picture This Plus. I'm just going to make this smaller. And then I had to bobbinate them already because I had to wash them and hang them. That's Onyx from Weeks Dye Works. So I can't wait to see I have fabrics coming from Chromatic Alchemy for the other two, and I can't wait to see those. Let's see here. These next two probably won't really look that interesting because it's just black. It's just black fabric, but I really like this one, but I decided on these 3 baby dragons. I got black because I don't want to stitch the background if I can help it. So it's like my way of trying to do a full coverage without actually doing the full coverage. So sorry about the glare. I just thought they were super cute. I love dragons. And I just kind of wadded up all these. There's a lot of pretty colors in here. They're all gray toned, but there's some pinks and some cute colors in there. I really like that one. Of course I like them. I chose them. So this next one is, oh shoot, I gotta pull out my book. This is from Teresa Wentzler's, one of the fantasy collection, the one that you could still find. The other one, part 2, I don't think it's even possible to get that one. And I just was drawn to the unicorn. And, geez, I'm all discombobulated today. I got all the called fors. I mean, you kind of have to with this one. It's going to be the last one I flip to, right? Yep. So those aren't familiar with her unicorn. There's a lot of colors in here. I think I tried to count. There's something like 57 blends in this one. Oh boy. But again, it's probably not that interesting for you guys to see just because it's black fabric, but there's just a lot of nice colors in there. So that's in my stack of things to do. Put that over there. Sorry, I shouldn't lean in like that. So I was trying to play around with the best ways to show you guys the fabrics and the flosses all at the same time without having to wad them up like that. So well, you'll see in a second. I tried to put all the floss on these little dowels so I could just hang it. But this is a Mirabilia Deepest Love, which is an out-of-print chart, which I hadn't really expected to buy. My plan for Mirabilias was to do a lady, a mermaid, and a fairy, and then just, I don't know, be done and work on my other things. But I stumbled across her on the stash unloading site, and it was a super good deal. So I did snag it, and I got a piece of fabric from Chromatic Alchemy. I do love her fabrics. And I'm trying to remember the name of it. It is I'll get there. Yes, there it is. Lazurite Opal 28 count even weave. Not sure if the colors will show really well. I just love this fabric. So pretty. So this is one of my attempts to show the floss and the fabric at the same time. thought that would be a good match. She's really pretty. She's just so light, and of course there's some beads for her too, and the Krynic as well. Oof, I'm just going to make a mess of my floor is what I'm going to do. This next piece of fabric I actually bought for the first memorabilia that I actually chose, which was Lilith of Labrador. I don't see her stitch very often. No, she's a little different. I just liked her colors. I liked her hair. And I was using the fabric viewer. And because computer monitors, things just look so different by the time you get them home. But this is a Sweet Stash fabric. Hyacinth. And this is a 28 count linen. I bought a way bigger piece than I really realized I had bought. So I'm actually going to do 2 projects on this. So I have it folded in half. So this is Lilith's colors. And that, I haven't used any silks yet, so I'm excited to try those. And because this thing was so big when I got it, I thought, ooh, I can put something else on there. I'm going to put the only Joan Elliott chart that I own. Again, dragon. But I'm not going to stitch this border out here, I don't think. I think he's super cute too, and I like the moon. So I'm going to put him on the back side, which is this side, I believe. That was a little bit darker. I thought I'd leave the, because there's even some blacks down here. I thought that looked more, I think Lilith will look better on that. And these are his colors. It's a lot of browns. I think it'll be good. There's a lot of CXC in his project because that's what I had, and then there's lots of treasure braid, which I tried to, I think I just substituted treasure braid for some Krynic for him. Now, this next one is really going to be hard for me to show. This is the Chatelaine Deep Blue Sea, which I am nowhere near ready to even think about starting. Yeah. And sorry, my apologies. I'm switching to another. I'm trying to get to my Adobe. And of course, I thought, there it is. Ah, I dropped my stuff. I've always loved the ocean, and I feel like it's almost 3D effect. And there's some pictures, and I've seen in the Facebook group of some, I really wanted to do it on dark fabric. And again, I checked the fabric viewer, and I really liked the really dark fabric. But I'm also scared to stitch it on dark fabric because I just am. So I ordered 2 fabrics. I got and these are 29 by 29 custom cuts. This is Al's Dark Magic 28 count linen from Chromatic Alchemy, which I just love that one. Yeah, this is, you guys are gonna laugh at me on this. I put, there's so many colors on this. It's just so many colors. It's almost impossible for me to, so yeah, I stuck them on a hanger. Those are the DMCs, which to me, I think they're gonna look great on the dark. I guess I'm just kind of afraid of, I don't know, miscounting, greater chance of miscounting on dark. And this is the, I don't know if I'm going to be able to really show this very well, so I'm not taking them all out of the package. Last Christmas, my husband had bought me I have the bead pack and all these beautiful silks for specialty flosses. So that's the darker color. And then, oh, again, these are still in the packet. I don't know if this will show in the plastic, but I should probably take them out. Those are the beads. And then if I flip it, this is, I believe, Huckleberry, sorry. 28 count Opal Lugana from Bestitch Me fabric. It's kind of like a really, really faint purpley color. It's gorgeous. I love it. And then we've got, I'll put the, see, I think either way, either fabric's going to work. I'm so not ready for it yet that I guess I have time. Maybe I'll show it again, and if I do more videos, and you guys can give me some input. So I think even all of those would look okay. Yeah. Decisions, decisions. They're both great. I love them both. And that's all the things I have kitted up. I don't think I missed any. So, oh, but I did miss, no, you know what, I have 2 things. 3 things, really. I almost forgot. It's the only fully finished, oh, cripes. This is going to be terrible because of the glare. There's no way for me to show this without glare. That's a Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I made this for my son. He just got it for Christmas. And I really like the frame. And I laced it and did it all myself, which it wasn't that hard to center it, really. It's just that I couldn't fit the backpack on because I also put spacers in it so that the stitches didn't touch the fabric. And the spacers made it so thick that I couldn't put the back of the frame back on, so I had to stick another piece of mounting board in there to just try to keep it covered. So, sorry, I can't really, too much glare on that one. And then I got some Christmas presents. So my son got me, he did ask for ideas, so I did send him some ideas. Mirabilia's The Kiss, which I think is one of the only ones that actually has a man in it. I think there's an archangel that's male. I think the rest are all ladies. I just think that one's really cool. A little different. And then my husband, again, did ask for some advice. Got me a Teresa Wensler kit. So it came with the Lugana and all the flosses. Her dragons are hard to find, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah. It almost makes me want to start this one first, just because my son got it for me, even though I have most of what I need. I did get the called for fabric. That was kind of hard to find too. It's like an apple blossom linen. But I don't know, we'll see. So I was thinking that I might try to really just kind of focus every month maybe on 4 or so projects. I'm hoping that that will help me get some things done too. So I'm going to, for the month of January, focus on, I'm going to show you what I'm going to focus on. So this one I forgot to show you during my whip parade last video. I think it goes this way. It's just the moon. And I'm pretty close, so I'd like to just get this done. And this is a Abracadabra 28 count Lugana from Ship's Manor, which I think I bought that when I was in search of something for that other Stargate project, the No Place Like Home one. But again, my computer monitor doesn't always correlate with the colors that come. So I think if I finish that, then I'm going to try to also finish the TARDIS Galaxy, which I showed last month. Because I'm hoping I can maybe get both of those done. I like to get those done, and then I'm also going to work on the Hobbit door, which I'll show just in case you guys don't remember. So this one was by Dusky Stitches on Etsy. Again, I was kind of trying to switch from those black and white and gray to the more earthy tones, so that's how far I've got on that one. And I haven't stitched on that in a really long time, so I thought I might do a little bit of work on that one. I thought maybe I would choose a couple smaller pieces and then also some full coverage. So I'm going to work on my alien, because I haven't worked on him in quite a long time. So just to show you where I'm at with him. So I don't know if I'm going to try to delve into this section again or just keep working on his head. I haven't decided yet. And then I also really want to work on, which if anything, the last time I worked on this, there's so much confetti that I just tapped out after a day on my Stargate from the one that I made on Pick to Pat. I think I'm like right in here, which I haven't touched any of this since I showed it to you last time. I think it goes this way. I'd like to make some progress on that chevron and just see how the detail will be on that. So that's my plans for the next month. Although I really itching to start one of those mirabilias. But I shouldn't, probably. No, I'd like to get a couple of these other small things done, and then I really should probably start that small chatelaine just to get my, dip my toe into some of those specialty stitches. So we'll see. So that's my plans, and I hope all of you are well, and hope everybody's power's on, and if you do celebrate holidays, I hope they were wonderful. And until next time, bye.